Hey team, so the crypto markets are down, way down. Bitcoin dropped roughly 42% from all-time highs, ETH is down 38%, and the total crypto market cap has dropped by almost 36%. And a lot of that happening in just the past week, with Bitcoin dipping from 46,000 to as low as 39,000, ETH dipping from 3,800 to as low as 2,900, and the total crypto market cap dipping from 2.2 trillion to 1.9 trillion. So why is the market down? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. In short, the reason is simple. The Federal Reserve signaled it would probably increase interest rates soon, probably sometime this year. There you go. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you would like to see in future videos. If you have questions or... Wait, what's that? Come again? You want more of an explanation. I suppose that makes sense. In that case, let's talk about what it means that the United States Federal Reserve Bank has signaled a coming increase in interest rates. The Federal Reserve, or Fed, is the central bank of the United States. They're the ones that decide how much money is floating around in the economy. And in a way, they decide how much that money is really worth. The Fed has three goals: maximize employment, create stable prices, and moderate long-term interest rates. One way to think about the Fed is it's the bank to the other banks. So when banks need money to meet their minimum reserve requirements, they borrow from each other, and the Fed sets the interest rate on that lending. By setting that rate, and with a few other monetary levers they have, they indirectly control how much those banks can in turn lend out their money for, and at what rate. This has an immediate impact on bank lending activities like home loans, business loans, and tons of macroeconomic activity throughout the economy. There's a group within the Fed called the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC. The FOMC includes the Fed chairman, currently Jerome Powell, the Fed Board of Governors, and a rotating group of the presidents of regional Federal Reserve districts. There are 12 districts. Didn't the Hunger Games have 12 districts? That's weird.
I volunteer as tribute.
Anyway, back to the point. The critical thing to know is the Fed has direct and indirect ways of influencing how much regular banks lend out and at what rates. On December 14th and 15th, Jerome Powell held a joint meeting of the FOMC and the Fed Board of Governors. In that meeting, they discussed their Fed business, and then right after, Jerome Powell updated the world with a press conference. That press conference is an hour long. It's super boring. You can watch the whole thing on their YouTube channel. I'll be impressed if you can sit through it and stay awake. I don't recommend it. But what he shared in that press conference wasn't exactly the same as what they discussed in the meeting. Because the minutes from that meeting, the notes of everything discussed in that December meeting, those notes were just released a week ago, January 5th. 2022, and people responded. The notes showed that the Fed is talking about increasing interest rates through the various dials and levers they have in working with banks across the country. Now, they didn't actually do this. No rates were increased at that meeting or since that meeting. They just talked about it a month ago, and we're finding out about it now because the meeting notes were released. That's it. They said they'll probably start raising rates this year, maybe in the next few months, and that sent the market spinning. It wasn't just crypto. The stock market dropped dramatically too. The Federal Reserve System, it's funny, it's complex, it's a coalition of a bunch of banks controlling how much credit is available in the system and how much money is functionally worth. And one of the weirdest things they do, in my view, is target inflation. They're actually aiming for an inflation rate of 2% under normal conditions, but after the last 2 years, I don't even know what normal conditions are anymore. See, you have money, a store of value, and that's important because you want to plan for the future and be able to spend that money down the line on things you care about but can't buy right now. But the Fed, it doesn't want you to save money. Not really. They want you to spend that money now. That's why they have an inflation target. If you have $1 today, and let's just pretend that the Fed hits its 2% inflation target, let's say 10 years passes at that rate. At the end of those 10 years, the dollar you've saved will have lost 18.3% of its value. You effectively only have 82 cents on the dollar. But even that's an optimistic scenario. The official inflation rate today is 6.8%. At least that's what was announced over a month ago. The updated number will be released today, actually. I hope it's not worse. Open another tab, Google it. They'll be updating that number on January 12th, 2022, the day this video is uploaded. But let's just look at the 6.8% number that we have from a month ago. At that rate of inflation, your money loses more than half its value in 10 years. That's insane. If money is supposed to be a store of value, that's a very leaky container for my value. There was really one guy in the United States who was trying to call attention to this for years and years before people started to take the idea seriously. That was Texas Congressman Ron Paul. Paul was in the US Congress for a total of 23 years off and on, and ran for president 3 times. He was ideologically a libertarian and was an open opponent to the whole Federal Reserve System. Just watch this clip of him grilling the Fed chairman Ben Bernanke in 2012.
Mr. Bernanke, if you don't mind, would you tell me whether or not you do your own shopping at the grocery store?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you're aware of the prices. But, you know, this argument that the prices are going up about 2%, nobody believes it. You know, and the old CPI says prices are going up at 9%. So they believe this. And people on fixed incomes, they're really hurting. The middle class is really hurting because their inflation rate is very much higher than the government tries to tell them. And that's why they lose trust in government.
He makes no secret of his disdain. Paul even wrote a book simply called End the Fed. There were a lot of reasons that Paul and others didn't and still don't like the Fed, including the ability of the central bank to help finance wars, a topic I've touched on before but could fill volumes if we did a real deep dive. But a simple way to put it is this: in a free market economy where free individuals and groups of individuals can decide the real value of products and services, why wouldn't the one thing that binds all of those transactions together also be subject to the market, the money itself? Why shouldn't the market decide the actual value of money rather than a handful of people on a committee? You've probably guessed I'm very sympathetic to these arguments. I understand that the Federal Reserve is central to how our economy works today, but that wasn't always true. It was only established in 1913, and it doesn't have to be true moving forward. I'm also reading a book right now called The Price of Tomorrow. It challenges the whole idea that a 2% inflation rate, or any inflation, is needed or even valuable. Can you imagine a deflationary currency? What would that be like? Where have I heard of a deflationary currency before?
Bitcoin. What? I don't know.
But here's what you need to know. I know the price of your favorite cryptos are down, but when in doubt, zoom out. The crypto market class is ever growing. Bitcoin is growing. ETH has been growing. If you're in this for the long haul, like I am, there isn't anything to be concerned about here. If anything, this dip is an opportunity to buy. Good news, everybody. Crypto is on sale. Take a deep, slow breath, buy some more of the good stuff, and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Do we need a Federal Reserve? Is inflation good or bad for the economy, and why? Does it spur more economic activity, or is saving functionally a better use of money? I think it is. I think it's better. We'll cover it all in a future video, and probably the money printer will still be going burr. We'll talk to you then. Thanks, team.